So I'm at platform 14 today at Manchester Piccadilly. Today is the 20th of May, which is a major timetable change day on the whole of the national network, particularly Northern and TransPennine Express. And today, as of today, TransPennine Express now routes two of it.
Today the timetables have changed.
So as of today, TransPennine Express now runs its Middlesbrough and Newcastle services from Manchester Airport through the Ordsall Chord and through Manchester Victoria, which means today the official first direct service from Manchester Piccadilly to Manchester Victoria will run. And I'm going to ride that train, which is the 0806 to Scarborough, interestingly enough. Now, usually Scarborough services no longer go to Piccadilly, but I'm guessing on a Sunday they do for some reason, which will be particularly confusing because throughout all this time, if you wanted to get a train from Piccadilly to Scarborough, you'd have had to get it from that platform heading in that direction, and now it's going in this direction, but only on a Sunday. And on every other day, Scarborough services are gone from Piccadilly altogether, which is, you know, weird. So let's ride the train.
Of the 0806 TransPennine Express service to Scarborough, calling at Manchester Oxford Road, Manchester Victoria, Huddersfield, Leeds, York, Malton, Seamer and Scarborough. Please remain behind the yellow line until your train has come to a halt and allow passengers to alight before trying to board. Platform 14 of the 0806 TransPennine Express service to Scarborough.
How can you eat? Run?
Run away.
Good morning, ladies and gents. This is the 806 TransPennine service all the way through to Scarborough. Our next stop is Manchester Oxford Road, followed by Manchester Victoria, then Huddersfield, Leeds, York, Malton, Seamer and Scarborough.
Passengers at Manchester Oxford Road are probably very confused because the Scarborough service seems to have just departed in the wrong direction.
Are you sure they're on the right train? That's from York.
This is interesting. We seem to be on the right track. How very strange.
From Manchester Piccadilly to York.
Meant to be on the left. I mean, it's signalled bi-directionally, but even so.
Yeah, that's it.
The remains of Manchester Exchange. So here I am at Manchester Victoria, having gotten on at Manchester Piccadilly, something which has never been possible before, at least not for quite a while, and I will explain why in a little bit. First, we've got to get a train back to Piccadilly. Now the train has to wait here for almost 10 minutes at Manchester Victoria, which is probably quite a sensible timetabling move from TPE, because it makes sure that on weekdays when the Oxford Road Piccadilly corridor is very busy, a delay there will have less of an effect on the service through to the northeast. So although that's quite inconvenient if your train's on time, feel like you're just waiting around for no reason, actually I think it's a very sensible timetabling decision. There's a Class 150 recently transferred from Great Western, quite a few of those around. Strengthening Northern's fleet. Hopefully trains will be a bit longer now. Some of them. Now, throughout the weekdays, the services to Scarborough will continue to be to and from Liverpool Lime Street, though these will now operate via Manchester Victoria and not via Manchester Piccadilly. So you can no longer get a train from Piccadilly to Scarborough except on a Sunday when you can. It will be the Middlesbrough and Newcastle services, as I said, that use the Chord. So what exactly does the May 2018 timetable change involve? I'll do a full, proper detailed video about this, but for a quick summary, basically TransPennine services via the Ordsall Chord, Liverpool to Scarborough services now via Victoria and Chatmoss, no longer calling at Warrington. New Northern services to Liverpool, between Manchester Airport and Liverpool via Warrington, and also electric services to Blackpool via Wigan North Western, because the diesel route via Bolton is still diesel. Who's the biggest loser in the north of England is probably Southport, as it has lost most of its direct services to Piccadilly and the airport, with all services now coming here to Victoria. Something they're not particularly pleased about. And also the Hull to Manchester services have picked up more stations, which is great for the people who live along the route, but not so great for people trying to travel between Manchester and Hull, whose journey times are now a bit longer. The timetable change is of course national, so across the country train services are changing as well, particularly in the southeast around London, with the introduction of the first phase of the full Thameslink service. So the biggest losers in the whole country are probably Bedford, who are losing all of their peak time East Midlands trains calls. So if you're travelling from the north of England to Bedford, you're going to have a tough time. You're going to have to get a bus from Wellingborough. A lot busier than the way in. This door seems to have been converted into a luggage rack. So I'm here at Manchester Airport. So at the beginning of this video, I told you a bit of a porky, or as we Jews like to say, a bit of a porky, that actually that was not the first direct service from Piccadilly to Victoria. The reason being is that long ago there was actually a connection going through the east of the city. In fact, most of the connection, which is shown in orange, is still in place, though it is only used by freight trains. The only piece missing is the cord shown in red, which is now abandoned. The Abandoned Viaduct can be seen from a train departing southbound from Manchester Piccadilly, just north of Ardwick. There it is. Furthermore, before the Ordsall Chord opened, there were a couple of weekends when during engineering works, TransPennine Express actually ran trains between Manchester Airport and Manchester Victoria, reversing at Salford Crescent. Furthermore, as the real Lee has pointed out to me on Twitter, there have actually been some nighttime demonstration runs in the past few days. But nevertheless, this is the first officially timetabled TransPennine Express service from Manchester Piccadilly to Manchester Victoria, so that's something. So what else is happening in 2018? Well, Northern's 170s that they've inherited from ScotRail are set to enter service, although those will only be around North Yorkshire, so we won't really see many of those. Then there's the December 2018 timetable change, which hopefully by then they'll have finished electrifying the Bolton route so that they can actually mop up the mess that they've made in the May 2018 timetable change. Also, the first proper new train, as in one that has not been inherited from somewhere else around here, will enter service at some point this year, and those will be, as TransPennine Express call them, the Nova 3s. That is the Class 68 plus brand new MK5 carriage sets, which will be introduced on, I think, the Liverpool to Scarborough route initially, or maybe Liverpool to Scarborough and Liverpool to Newcastle. I'm not 100% sure, but somewhere on the TransPennine Express network, so we've got that to look forward to. So my train to Heald Green has just been cancelled, and it has just occurred to me that on the first day of the new timetable change, I have not seen one single service run on time, so not a good start. Not at all. It looks like this is the Blackpool service, and it's a pair of 156s. Are you actually joking me? They've just electrified the line. This is meant to be the new electric service to Blackpool. They're complaining about a shortage of diesel units, and yet they're running diesel trains on the Blackpool North route. Are you being serious? So yeah, the rear four coaches were meant to be the Preston service. And there goes the diesel electric Blackpool service. It's the electric Blackpool service, but it's a diesel train. Go figure. So this is probably the next train to Heald Green. Well, it's not leaving for another 10 minutes or so. The previous one's been cancelled because of no conductor. Some irony there. And we start today with France. Yes, France. The country which... Hang on, I'm turning into the obscure railway version of John Oliver. Muslims, migrants, immigrants. Oh, they're coming. They're coming. They're going to invade Christian Europe. The Jews are controlling everything. And that's why you should vote for me as Prime Minister. Holy shit, that actually worked.
This is the biggest timetable change this generation, and
wow.
Many services are expected to operate at different times and from different platforms than usual.
Congratulations, they've just defined a timetable change.